One man is being victimized by our own government. One man whom they fear, yet whom millions love. One man who is willing to take the poison arrows of lawfare. One man whose voice has been taken away by a corrupt judge operating in a corrupt system. One man who has been ridiculed and insulted. One man who refused to back down. One man who refused to back down. One man who refused to back down. One man who stands between us and them. One man that wants to see America protected again. One man who wants to see America prosper again. One man who understands that a man is a man and a woman is a woman. One man who understands and protects the blessing of life. One man who wants to restore American exceptionalism. One man who once again wants to make America that shining city on a hill for all to see. A place where all the people of the world glowingly set their eyes upon. America. One man who unashamedly wants to make America great again. That one man is Donald Trump.
This is Fanfare with Barry Cunningham.
What's up, everybody, on a Tuesday evening? Man, I just got done dropping a recorded video about an hour ago. If you guys haven't seen it, go back and look at that. I ask you to go back and look at that. And tonight we're going to do a live show, and I have so much to talk about. I mean, just a cornucopia of Trump news. A lot of stuff affecting this election. And as you saw from the image picture, all I could title it was, really? Really, Democrats? This is what you're doing? You're going forward with Kamala Harris? You're just going to thrust her on everybody? Hairs, guts, feathers, all? You're just going to make people accept the fact that you took away their votes and you're going to install somebody? But before I get to that and go over all of that, hey everybody, how you guys doing? Breaking news today. And it's so funny because I plan a show and I've got my links and what I'm going to talk about. And right up to the point where I'm ready to hit the button to go live, stuff drops. And there were two huge, and I mean, as Trump would say, huge stories dropped within the last, I'd say, 20 minutes. I'm going to go over both of them. And the only way I can really do it is to basically show you what exactly happened. We had this announcement today. It's going to tick a lot of you off. Now I'm actually going to say it's going to piss a lot of you off. Something is going on. I mean, this is insane. Absolutely insane. So you guys all know about Kim Cheadle, the Secret Service director. She decided, after getting beat up yesterday by both the left and the right, she's like, I can't win this fight. I'm out. So she's out. So today, the Secret Service, with all their, well, I'm just going to let you hear it. We'll talk about this afterward. It's going to piss you off.
And just breaking moments ago, Brett, I want to tell you that the Secret Service is apparently now telling or asking the Trump campaign to stop doing their rallies outdoors. This is reporting from the Washington Post, just breaking in the last couple of minutes here. I can tell you that I asked Don Jr. about that at the RNC last week, if he was going to encourage his father to stop holding rallies outdoors. He said that his father would not like that at all. He loves those outdoor rallies. So we're still trying to work this story right now, but that's coming from the Washington Post. The Secret Service is now encouraging the Trump campaign to stop doing those outdoor rallies. Brett.
Yeah. So think about that. The Secret Service, and I'd have to talk to Dan Bongino if I could ever get him on the phone or on a show. But are you telling me that the Secret Service is so inept that they can't guarantee Trump's safety? Is he getting that many threats? Are they? It's mind-boggling that they're saying, now, Trump, hey, we know you get 30, 40, 50,000 people at these rallies. Ho, back off, bud. They're too dangerous and we can't protect you. Are you effing kidding me? The Super Bowl is held outside in some locations. NFL games, college football games with hundreds of thousands, not hundreds of thousands, but up to 100,000 people will attend a college football game. We've got festivals and all kinds of things all over the country. And you're telling me the most high-profile agency in the world cannot protect President Trump from somebody that wants to take a shot at him? Or is there another reason? And I saw this tweet, and I had to just put it out. The Secret Service is now encouraging Trump to stop doing outdoor rallies. This isn't about his safety. It's because the Biden regime, which he's still in control, wants him to stop holding giant rallies that show his popularity. And now they're kind of threatening him. Don't have these huge rallies or you might get hurt, bro. We can't do anything about it. Breaking. Secret Service officials are encouraging Donald Trump's campaign to stop scheduling large outdoor rallies in the wake of the assassination attempt on him. And then there's a story here that says Secret Service encourages Trump campaign to stop doing the outdoor rallies. And that's on Archive PH. Or they could do their job, as one person says here. So, right now, they're saying, we can't protect you. You can't do any more of these big, giant rallies because you're going to make Kamala look really bad. In addition to making Kamala look really bad, you might make us look really bad because we've got so many DEI hires in here that we don't know if these people are capable of protecting the president. If I was Donald Trump, what I would do right now, I would make sure you call somebody like the guys, some of these secret op guys that they have out there. What's it? Black something. And say, look, we got this, okay? I'm going to get my own guys in to supplement you. You guys can't seem to get... You're the Keystone Cops at this point, which I cannot believe. There is no way anyone's going to convince me that the rank and file Secret Service agents that have done this stuff their entire career have secured and protected high-profile targets. You are now saying in 2024, this president, Joe Biden, has put together a group of people who can't protect Donald Trump. That's what you're telling me? Dude, resign now. Just go ahead and just resign. You can't do Overwatch. You can't protect him. You probably can't transport him. You can't do it. You just waved the white flag. You just said, hey man, in today's technology, even though we've got drones and heat maps and everything else, we can't protect you. To which I would ask, how do you protect me indoors? Oh, but Barry, they've got to go through magnetometers and people have assigned seating. And we can make sure that nobody's bringing something in. How about just enlarging the perimeter? How about just saying, hey, Trump, if you're going to hold the rally, maybe do it at an airport where we can secure it. Well, there's nothing like an open area where someone can take a... I'm dumbfounded. They want to basically put this guy in a box. At this point, the brain trust from the Secret Service has decided this is what we can do. We can make Kamala's little high school gymnasium rallies look as big as Trump rallies. There won't be 50 and 60,000 people out there because he's going to have to hold his in a gymnasium. This is wrong. And I'm going to talk to some people in military. I've got a guy who works for a sheriff's department here in South Florida, actually Central Florida. And I'm going to, is this true? Can you believe that they can't protect the president? Unbelievable. Love to know what you guys think about this. Let me make sure I picked the right thing. Yeah, how about taking firearms away from Democrats? There's a good idea. Good evening. How you doing, Charles? How you doing? I watched Trump live on July 13th. Couldn't believe the size of the crowd. Yeah, but I couldn't believe with all those men, they couldn't keep one 20-year-old kid from climbing up on a roof. Because, you know, he had skills like that. Reverse psychology. They want him outside so they can... they want him to defy the recommendations so they can say, hey, we told you. Hey, sorry, people. We told you we couldn't be responsible if something happened. Winkety wink wink. But if you do it, and we're going to try our best. I don't know if you guys have seen the movie The Rock. It's so funny. Not The Rock, the guy The Rock. The movie The Rock with Sean Connery and Nicholas, what the heck's his name? Nicholas Cage. And it's always funny. I say this to my wife all the time, and I've said it to my grandson now. When somebody goes, I'll do my best, and Sean Connery looks at Nicolas Cage and goes, your best? Losers always say they can do their best. Winners go home and basically get the prom queen. You're losers. You are absolutely losers when you say you would just be able to do your best and hope for the best in protecting Donald Trump. It's insane. What's up, Barry? How you doing, brother? How about some bikers? Yeah, get the Hell's Angels out there. It makes no sense whatsoever. None. Absolutely none. Let Bongino and Sean Ryan and some of those guys, Cottrell, get out there and put together the crew. Hire them as special. What is the name of that company? Not BlackRock. BlackRock's the bad one. But these guys who were all former Secret Service and former Navy SEALs. Anybody know what the name of that company is? Because get him out there. Get him out there with his guys, his paramilitary guys, and get them to secure the area. All of this is unbelievable. Trump is too popular to take the large rallies away from him. But that's exactly what they want to do. So the Secret Service is saying that for the past, for the past 3.5 years, they had been weakened so much that they are unable to protect people at outdoor events. That's what they're saying. That is exactly what they're saying. Right there it is. That was the name I was looking for. Thank you guys for, a couple of you guys came up with it. Blackwater. Get the Blackwater guys out there. Get the Blackwater guys out there and say, listen, tonight you guys are going to be my Overwatch. You're going to watch this event site. You're going to plan it. You're going to tell me where everything needs to be. And we'll let the Secret Service do their whatever they're going to do. But, we'll want you guys in place to do this. And get them licensed to carry firearms. Do whatever you need to do. Get the best guys out there. The best guys out there. These guys are black ops for sure. Eric Prince. Bingo. There's the name. Eric Prince. Give Eric Prince a call. Tell him to get some of his Blackwater guys together and get out there and show the Secret Service how to protect a high target individual. It's disgusting to me that we're even discussing this, and I'm sorry to take up the time with the show. But is this where we are as a country? Are we letting the world know? Because obviously this story is all over Twitter. Everybody can see it. Fox News put it out there. So you just told every person in the world who may have nefarious thoughts about Donald Trump. You just told them all, sorry, we can't protect him. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed for this country. I'm embarrassed for anyone who has to know at this point that your Secret Service, who's been in charge of protecting presidents seemingly forever, has on July 23rd decided, we can't do it anymore. We're going to have to put you in a gym somewhere with about, 2,000 kids, 2,000 people. That's it. Maybe we'll let you do it in an arena, with maybe 8,000, but 50,000? Can't do it, bro. Can't do it. Unbelievable. Secret suckers. I guarantee you there's some people that can go ahead and secure this. Perhaps the Pope can send a few of his Swiss guards. At least they look great. Absolutely. Really, love you, Barry. Hold it in a football stadium. There you go. Instead of having it in a field, which is unsecure, hold it in the very same football stadiums I was just talking about. Hey, listen, you guys got an away game this week? Okay, so we're going to fill up Neyland Stadium in Knoxville. Knoxville, they've got 100,000 people can sit in that stadium. Basically a brick facade. You can't get in. There's only certain entry points. That's it. It goes way up in the air, so it's not like someone's going to be at the top of the thing pointing down. That's a great idea. Hold it in a football stadium. But here's the problem with that. If you're going to go through a college, some of these woke professors are going to be pissed off, and they'll probably be out there saying, no, you can't do it here. Trump, oh my God, he's an insurrectionist. He's a con man. He's done this. And you're going to have to find a college that has a stadium, that has a sizable stadium that can hold a Trump rally, and then get it approved through the regents and everybody else that you can actually have it there on an unscheduled football game. Because we're heading into football season very quickly here. We've only got a couple weeks before we actually start playing preseason games. We've got a couple weeks before the college football season kicks off. So the scheduling would be very tough. Very, very tough. And I'm telling you, Trump's home ground in terms of down here in the South in the SEC, some big stadiums, but I'm not sure if you're going to be able to get into them. And if he wants to go to the Midwest, do something at Michigan or Wisconsin, those stadiums might be a little bit too big. I think the big house in Michigan is like 110,000. He's not going to put 110,000 people in the stands in Michigan. But, you get my point. They could probably drape it off and do something. And in NFL stadiums, forget about it. The NFL is never going to allow Trump to do a rally in one of the NFL stadiums. But there are other stadiums out there. There's one down here where the MLS team plays. The MLS team where, Lionel Messi plays. They could probably put 30,000 in it and secure it. They could probably use, one of these stadiums. How about baseball stadiums as things are moving down? How about maybe even a couple of the spring training facilities? Down here in South Florida, we've got a number of those, but we don't know if they're available for other places. In any event, the fact that we have to have this kind of discussion is completely off the pale. Heck yeah, Trump doing so well in the South, also known as hookworm country. Well, I think Clay Travis calls it the SEC. He calls it the SEC touring thing when you come down here and do it. Did you all see? Yeah, I think, where'd you do that? Somebody just put it up here. Did you all see that Netanyahu went to Mar-a-Lago to see Trump? I think that's tomorrow, actually. Maybe they're going to watch the Biden speech on the big screen and sit back and have a laugh. Because Kamala and Joe both dissed Netanyahu. There was a shooting at a Super Bowl parade. Yeah, there was. Yeah, get Eric Prince and Dan Bongino to come up with something. Liberty University, yeah, they've got a good-sized stadium. Hello, Helen, how are you? So anyway, that's what. How about a flag football league? Yeah, Trump doesn't need to campaign in the South. Yeah, he pretty much owns this. Is the Orange Bowl still standing? Nope. The Orange Bowl was done a few years ago, demolished. And now the Marlins, the baseball team, plays in Marlin Park, if it's still called that, and the Dolphins play in the Hard Rock Stadium down here in Miramar area. Thanks for keeping us all updated. Yeah, that just popped up in my stream right before. It wasn't even part of what I was going to do for a show. I'm like, wait a minute, that's some breaking news. So now let me talk to you about some other breaking news. And this is probably as big as the first piece of breaking news. So those of you probably know that everywhere on the news today, they've been telling you about how Kamala Harris raised the most money in history. $200 million. Oh my God, she made so much money. Everybody wants to dump their money into a campaign with Kamala Harris. It's all part of the whole propaganda machine. What was interesting was last night, the wife and I were sitting back. I always go through my shows after I have my live shows. So I went back and looked down at DVR and went to the Laura Ingraham show. And Laura Ingraham comes on now. She comes on at 7 o'clock each night. So at 7 o'clock last night, at 9 o'clock, whenever it was we got done here on my live show, I went on and said, okay, what's Laura talking about? Lo and behold, she had the FEC chairman, Federal Election Commission. And they were talking about all this money that Kamala got. And the money from Dementia Joe's campaign. And how she went to Wilmington and basically just annexed it. And said, I'm going to use this money, I'm going to use this money, I'm going to use everything. I'm Kamala. Don't talk to me. I'm the somewhat black woman at this point. If you say anything nasty, it could be racist or misogynist. So be careful what you say about me. Anyway, he went, and as soon as he said it, I looked over at my wife and I go, this is a damn shame. The guy's on. I wish I had time to grab the video because I wasn't prepared to go through this. And he said, no, she can't do this. It is illegal to just grab all this money. Completely illegal. And Laura Ingraham's like, well, what do you do about it? He's like, likely nothing. And she was like kind of confused. Like, what do you mean? Nothing. Well, in order for that to happen, they would have to do this and they'd have to do the other thing. And then, basically 4 or 5 months down the road, we could figure it all out. Because as the FEC, we don't have any injunctive power. So you can't do anything to stop it? Nope, can't do anything to stop it. It would take months and months and months before it would be found to be a problem. And I turned to my wife and I said, honey, do these people do anything above board? Seriously, do they do anything that is on the level in terms of staying within the lines, within coloring within the lines, driving between the buoys? Do they do anything correct? Or do they just do stuff because they've researched the law and I can imagine a meeting. So if we go ahead and change these machines so that, we can do something and you guys know what I mean, what's going to happen? Well, there's no way they're going to be able to get into any court before the next 60 or 90 days and it'll be over. So we saw it happen. Now we're seeing it again. So I can imagine a meeting. Hey, if we go ahead and just take this money, what's the downside? What could happen? Well, they could file an FEC, complaint with a class action lawsuit, and they could try to stop it. But if they do that, they're going to have to go through jump this hoop, come around the corner, do this, and by then the election's over. Don't worry about it. You've spent the money. It's gone. It's done. Gone. It just disappeared. We spent all of it. And they look up these laws, and they just keep looking up these laws. And then they keep doing things that even if they get caught, they know inherently we can't be adjudicated before it's all over. So if you find out that, we did something wrong in February, oh well, the election's over. Sorry. That is how they do business. They look at the worst case scenario and they look at what's going on and they hope that nobody will be able to do anything before the entire matter is already concluded on its own. So I started looking into things. And this popped up. Interesting. Alex Soros, yes, you know the name, endorses Kamala Harris. He's in charge of the $25 billion family enterprise, empire. That's his new wife, Huma, as you know, was Hillary's right-hand lady for years, who was also married to a perv at the time. And there's Kamala with Alex Soros. Twice. $25 billion. and we already know what kind of people the Sorosos are. Elon Musk says, "I'd just like to thank Alexander Soros for not keeping everyone in suspense about who the next puppet would be." She's lining up for it happily. I'll do whatever you need to do. Just keep funneling money towards me in any way that you can. See, that's the other part. I'm going to funnel money towards you, but we got to do it a certain way. Because I can't write you a check for, $300 million. We got to do it a certain way. Okay. So, goes on. And then I see this. And I'm like, this explains it. Here's the Democrat election scam broken down. They create the illusion of support for a candidate by pumping them up in the media apparatus that they fully control. You're seeing that right now. The media is making basically the coronation of Kamala. She's the best thing since sliced bread. She basically walks on water. It's just amazing. Even though this woman couldn't get even like 1% in 2020, now she's the best thing ever. They use billionaires to launder money to the candidate through straw donors on ActBlue. $3,300 max per person? No problem. Just funnel a billionaire's money through hundreds of thousands of names. Wow, look how popular they are. They've got hundreds and thousands of donations, all under the limit, but they're getting a lot of money. The polling companies work for them, so there's no issue either. Just show the transformational candidate with strong numbers based on imaginary data. Now the public believes they have a chance. You are going to see the polls begin to reflect right now at 7:27 on Tuesday. Understand the polls that you have seen, and I'm going to show you, showing Trump in a lead, are soon going to show Kamala Harris in the lead. Count on it. It's how the scam works, because we need to show you that she has momentum. They control the polls. Watch as it transpires. Then they register 8 million newcomers to vote. They don't need them to actually cast a ballot and risk getting caught. They just need that name on the voter roll so they can pump out a fake ballot and throw it in a drop box undetected in a few key swing states. And then by the time anybody notices, it's too late. The deep state, FBI, and DOJ won't even open an investigation, so no issue there. And if any judges start getting pesky or a little too close to allowing an actual trial, that judge gets a very threatening phone call, then boom, every single case is dismissed on standing. What great luck for them. Then when they do that, they ban anyone on social media for calling out their scam, put up barbed wire around the Capitol so you can't even come back and complain, use thousands of troops to keep the public away, and start new wars across the globe for years on end. We no longer live in a free country. We live under a communist regime masquerading as a constitutional republic. Trump is their greatest threat, and they just tried to put a bullet in his head. He just described 2020, but he's also describing what's happening in 2024. No doubt. Okay, so all that money is going someplace. All that money is being funneled through all kinds of illegitimate agencies where people are able to take this money and do whatever they want with. Now, I have 2 videos to show you, and I was going to do that later, but I'm going to bump them up to the front because of what we're talking about right now. So, let me show you what I mean. Let's go ahead and run this video first. This one is probably going to make you just absolutely scream. I hope you can hear it. If not, I'll rerun it.
Hello, sir. My name is Esela, and I am running some reports for a volunteer organization.
So what's happening here, they don't want to show the guy's face, don't want to mess up his privacy, but this guy has showed up on rolls showing, you can see what kind of house it is, and they're like, dude, did you donate like hundreds of thousands of dollars? Let me know, where'd you get the money? But listen.
To find out that if someone's using people's names to launder money through ActBlue. And I found out that your address, home is, that you have donated over 10,000 times within 2-year time frame from 2000.
You hear that? This guy is now finding out that, listen, you have donated over 10,000 times to a Democrat politician.
2020 to 2022.
How much money?
$106,304.45. Right.
That wasn't me.
Yes. And
It wasn't me. $100,000 with 10,000 donations in some guy's name that nobody ever checks. So they're finding people's names and just putting money in their name, and nobody ever follows up.
And you're not the only one. And I have some other volunteers from going to different homes, and I just want you to be aware of that. And I could show you how to find this information on yourself, if you like. From 2009 to 2019, 10-year time frame, you donated about $12,000, which is normal. But the red flags is from 2020 to 2022.
What was those dates? From 2020, what happened then? To 2022, you donated $100,000.
6 figures of donations.
I have never gotten a bill that big.
Right, and I believe someone is using your name and your addresses to funnel money through ActBlue. And some of the causes that I noticed you donated is like Biden, NDTC PAC, Brady PAC, Stop the Republicans, Progressive Turnouts. But biggest issue is ActBlue. That's where I see small donation, just at least 3 donations per day.
3 donations per day they were putting out in this guy's name. 3 donations per day.
So you're not aware of any of that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I have this paper. I could tell you how to find this information of yourself if you would like.
So all of you, especially if you have older moms and dads that are still alive, why is my stream acting up? I don't know. Are they trying to stop me? I'm noticing my stream signal is looking pretty weak. I hope we're back strong. I got the green light. So I told you that yesterday on Laura's show. The FEC commissioner said, there's nothing we can do about it. And then this stuff started breaking today. And then here we go with this. Huge. Breaking. Trump just filed a bombshell legal complaint against Kamala Harris and the Democrat Party. He says they violated federal election law when Biden laundered his campaign cash to Kamala. Kamala Harris is seeking to perpetrate a $91.5 million heist of Joe Biden's leftover campaign cash. A brazen money grab that would constitute the single largest excessive contribution and biggest violation in the history of FEC Act of 1971 as amended. That's a quote from the actual lawsuit. Trump says Biden and Kamala flagrantly violating the act by making and receiving an excessive contribution of nearly $100 million. So, of course, when they announced, oh, yeah, Kamala's killing it, she's bringing in all this kind of money, it was a line item transfer. It was transfer from here over to Kamala in the same office. Remember, she flew to Wilmington yesterday. It's almost as if Trump was waiting to see if are they really going to be this stupid? Are they really going to do this? And then they did it. Okay, and he's nearly $100 and for filing fraudulent forms with the commission purporting to repurpose one candidate's principal campaign committee for the use of another candidate. In other words, everybody was watching to see what they were going to do with the nest egg that Dementia Joe had put together. And it's easy to look at. You can just see where this money is being held. And they waited. And they waited. And Kamala flew to Wilmington yesterday to basically, invade the Biden headquarters so everybody knew what was coming. They just couldn't believe, is she really going to do this? Are these people really going to try and take this money? Are they really that brazen with everything they've done and what we think they did in 2020? Are they just going to begin cheating again? Can they have that kind of cojones in front of the world to see, I'm cackles and I'm here to get the money? They did it. They transferred the money to her, basically in violation of the Campaign Act of 1971. And they didn't even care. Because what's probably going to happen is that, like I said, it's going to take a long time for this thing to go to court. All right, so Barry, why did Trump file the lawsuit? To let you know. That's why this lawsuit get filed. They know it's going to take a while. They know she's going to spend the money. They know she's going to spend it like a drunken sailor on leave. It's going to be gone. But the people need to know. The people need to know that she's just like the other ones. She's a thief. She's a con artist. She's doing untoward stuff. Everything that these Democrats do is untoward. It is borderline criminal. It is definitely fraudulent. And they don't care. Because so many people don't want to see it. They don't want to look. They'll go out and say Trump got convicted, he got impeached, he got indicted, he got this. They don't care. They'll say all that stuff about Trump, and watch tomorrow. Is this thing going to get buried? How many people are going to find out that they illegally transferred money? Allegedly. The only reason Trump probably said, let's go public with the lawsuit, is we caught him. We caught him red-handed. If you ask the FEC chairman, he's going to say, it's illegal. Get him on television. Get it out there in the public that Kamala, on her first day of running for office, very first day, as wanting to be a nominee, you stole money that was not earmarked for you. Remember, all these people donated, supposedly. They weren't all fake, were they? There had to be some real donors. George Clooney, you had some real donors, right? Did they write a check to Joe Biden for president or Kamala Harris for president? See, if I ask you for money and I said, listen, I'm going to put another wing onto the house. I need like $100,000 to get that done. But instead of building the wing on my house, I go out and buy a Ferrari. Well, hey man, I gave you the money for the house. What's this car? Well, I changed my mind. I figured, it was there. It was just sitting there. It was in the account. That's what she just did. She decided to buy something else that somebody has earmarked their money for and didn't have any problem doing it. And so Trump's the only thing he could do was to let everybody know by suing her and suing the campaign and probably the Democratic Party, and let everybody know they're laundering money. Did you know that? Probably not. How many people don't know that? I can tell you, there's a lot of people on the left who don't care. Do whatever you need to do, just beat Trump. They don't care. These people are illicit. They are completely dirty. They're all dirty. I cannot believe that these people are this dirty. They'll do anything it takes. We found out on July 13th what anything means. Now they're telling Trump, hey, listen, you can't have outdoor rallies. And now they're also pilfering money from anywhere they can get to prop up this woman who shouldn't be running for president, because they basically went in and took Joe Biden out because his poll numbers weren't doing well. Don't think he could win, didn't think he could beat Trump, and that was the only thing that they have said as to why they took him out. Many of us believe it's his health, but if we have to take them at their word, they have said to us, no, it wasn't his health, he's fine, winkety wink. We just didn't like the numbers, and so we invalidated everybody's vote, and we're just going to pick somebody, and right now we're going to pick Kamala Harris. And then we're going to take all the money. We're just going to raid it. Raid the piggy bank. Take it. Can't stop us. We're the Democrat Party. We do whatever we effing want. We're like the mob. They're all made people. Kamala, come here, you little kid. We're going to get you like $100 million. Come on, man. Wake up, people. Tell your friends. This is BS. Can't even say the word. It's absolute BS that they treat Americans like mushrooms, basically in the dark and covered with poop. They don't care what you think. All they want to do is win an election. Does that piss you off? It should. Yeah, money. Where is the Ukraine money? Oh, you didn't hear about that, did you? If you're asking that question, you must not know the other problem they have. I wasn't even going to cover this. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I'm going to look this up so I can show it to you, because you're not going to believe this if you haven't seen it. Trust me. Since you brought it up, I'm going to have to... Okay, let me do this, because you probably haven't seen this. You see this? You seeing this? Did you guys see this today? That's 24. Okay, let me show you this in the last 7 days. Anytime in the past week. Okay, here we go. Pentagon, due to an accounting error, billions of dollars were included in the estimate of military aid to finance the F-35 and F-22 fighter program. They don't know where billions of dollars went. Sorry, can't help you. Man, we lost billions and billions of dollars. And it's funny, as this article says here, you're going to be left shaking your head, because you know if the IRS came to see you and you said the things that they say in these articles. It says, Ukraine has once again confirmed its status as a black hole in which Western military and financial aid just disappears without a trace. Billions. So your comment that you put up there, that you made me go off script here, where's all that money gone? Can't tell you. Billions just missing. You could never do that. Hey, listen, Mr. IRS agent, I can't find it. I thought it was in the bank. It's not there, so let's just let bygones be bygones. No, that's not how it works. But you guys do it. You guys lose billions. You let politicians steal money. No big deal, right? Right. Let's just let it go. You can't say that. You'd go to jail. Accounting error. Thanks for stealing our money, government. Yeah, accounting error. They do things that you, me, your friends, your family could never do. You're not allowed to have an accounting error as an excuse months after the fact for billions of American tax dollars. Gone up in smoke. Can't do it. They need, so it's on top of the earlier $2 trillion they lost. Absolutely. When they come for us, we say it just went to a black hole. Absolutely. It's crazy. Pentagon hasn't had balanced books in years. Absolutely. Scott said, all these agencies need to start having oversight by an independent firm. All these agencies is why Trump is in danger. You couldn't do this. You couldn't do any of this stuff if you actually had a president in place who knew what the hell he was doing. Trump's been a CEO. He can look at something and go, that's a little bit high. Where's this money going? I can read a balance sheet. We now know they probably don't even show Joe. Biden doesn't even see this stuff. How much stuff are they just keeping from him and don't bother showing him at all? Deanna Cross says, of course they're going to cheat just like they did last time, and nobody has been doing anything about it. I know it. You know it. Why don't the people who can do something do about it? Can't tell you. Can't tell you. My puppy ate the tax money. Defund the entire government. It's a waste of money. Yeah, you're going to get black helicopters showing up at your house with that kind of stuff. But even though I do agree with you, we are being just completely pilfered and abused. Hey, Deb, thank you very, very much for the super chat. How can the Democrats put up with Kamala without her having been in a primary? They're just going to do it. They don't care. They made the rules in advance knowing that it was a possibility that they would have to change out Biden. And now they're going to actually do it. They're going to basically use delegates on August 22nd, and they're going to name who's going to be in charge. The United States is in its death throes. The news that's come out, and I can't disagree with you, because the news that has come out in the last 10 days, an assassination attempt on Trump with no answers. The Secret Service director walking into Congress, looking congressional people in the face, lying to them. A president decides to pull out because he can't run, but he's staying as president and going to do a speech tomorrow, and God knows what he's going to say. How effective can you be in this last 4 or 5 months? We already know you're lame. You're the lamest of lame ducks. You think you're going to get anything passed? Hell no. Nothing. Nothing is going to... Basically, our government is going to shut down now. The Republicans, if they have any sense and backbone, wouldn't dare agree to anything Biden would say right now. You're done, dude. You're out. We're no longer going to allow you to do anything, which then again makes him realize, well, let me just sign some executive orders. Oh, what are they going to do? Take me to court? You're going to go to the Supreme Court? Yeah, good luck with that. Let me know in 2 or 3 months. Oh, I won't be here. Eat me. Unbelievable. The party of we have to save democracy diverts democracy regularly. Yep, they do it all the time. They're claiming you had a stroke. My God, unlike most people, I am not afraid of government. They are nothing and nobodies. Joe might declare martial law, which is still under the realm of what a president could actually do. And people are like, no, you couldn't do that. Well, what's going to stop him? So anyway, money's coming from people like Soros. It's being channeled through. Here's another guy. I'm going to bring this up. A massive scandal has emerged from the donations ActBlue received. Listen to this. ActBlue received on the day Joe Biden dropped out. Reports indicate that $20 million from a Swiss billionaire. This dude ain't even here. His name is Hans-Jörg Wyss. Was broken down into over 1.6 million donations across 400,000 different donors. Is looked at as George Soros' successor when it comes to pouring money into American politics. These donations, which are called smurfing, if you guys want to do some sleuthing yourself and read up on some of the smurfing, which happens when names of innocent small donors, usually elderly, are used to funnel money into political campaigns, typically Democratic, and James O'Keefe and OMG Media have previously discovered millions in questionable donations on ActBlue. Think of ballot trafficking, but with campaign donations. So they have a large money laundering scheme going on that people now know about, and there's nothing you can do about it. Except what Trump did, he tried to let some people know by filing a lawsuit that here we go again. Here we go with the money laundering, and there's really nothing you can do about it. It's pretty sad. Which is, by the way, why I personally am investing in gold. I've told you guys about this over and over. I'm going to tell you again. I'm not selling you anything. I'm giving you some information to help you protect what you do have. Gold and silver, unlike buying a stock or buying something that you don't have, that you're trying to earn more money on, it's one of the few investments that you buy to protect what you have. With all this stuff going on, and this martial law does get declared, what are you going to do if you go to the ATM and you hit the buttons and nothing happens? What are you going to do if you decide to walk into the bank and write a check and they're like, sorry, the computers aren't working? Which happened last week. If you haven't followed that CrowdStrike thing, go ahead and look that up. If you have funds, if you have available funds, you better start protecting yourself very quickly. And one of the best ways to protect yourself is with gold. I'm not telling you to buy anything. I don't ever push something into those who watch my show because it's not buying anything. You're using your money and you're changing it from one currency into something else. It's still yours. You're not buying a t-shirt so that Barry can make some money. You're saying, hey, listen, I've got $10,000 in the bank. I don't know if I should hold on to all that in the bank. Let me convert that into gold or silver, because that is going to be my hedge in case something happens. If we'll go back to the age of back yesteryear, when you try to go buy something, if you can't do it, people are going to say, okay, let's barter. What you got? I got some silver coins. All right, let's do some business. You think that's far-fetched? Really? You think it's far-fetched that we couldn't go back to that in an instant? Well, I'm pretty sure some people thought on July 13th that the possibility of our government being involved in yet another high-profile assassination, they didn't think that was real either. Are you paying attention to the stock market? You're paying attention to what's going on with the Federal Reserve? The more they print, the less your dollar is worth. So in that regard, I'm talking to you about moving some of your assets, not buying anything, moving, converting some of your assets into gold. You know that inflation is still on the rise all across America, and our dollar is being devalued more and more every single day by the Federal Reserve and their massive money printing schemes. So you have to ask yourself, are my investments really safe? I doubt it. Listen to this. Government debt is growing at the rate of $1 trillion every 100 days. Since 2020, every dollar in your wallet has lost 24% of its purchasing power. And in just the last 18 months, what you need to survive as a family, your groceries, your necessities, have gone up by $11,000 per family. These are unsustainable and outrageous numbers. That's why I'm recommending that you call my friends at Lear Capital. They'll show you how easy it is to move some of your assets into gold and silver. You know, assets that are growing in value instead of keeping them in a dollar, which is declining in value. And as we approach the election, and with all the volatility in the world, now is the time to take some action. Call Lear today at 800-601-5430 or go to learberry.com. When you go to Lear, you'll be able to download a de-dollarization guide. It will show you specifically how your dollar is deflating every single year. There's no obligation, it's just free information. You'll learn how to protect your hard-earned money with gold and silver. Just so you know, Lear has over 27 years of experience, thousands of 5-star reviews, $3 billion in trusted transactions, and is the only company with a 24-hour risk-free purchase guarantee. Call Lear at 800-601-5430 or go to learberry.com. And when you give them a call, ask how you can get $15,000 in bonus gold with a qualifying purchase. All right, so just wanted to show you guys something, and let me pull this up real quick to give you an idea what I'm talking about here. This is the spot gold price. You look at gold pricing just like you would a stock or anything else. This is a 1-month chart. You can see here on June 26 was a low point. Gold was at 2313.90, and then it spiked right about here. I wonder what happened right there. Tuesday, July 16th. Here's Monday, July 15th. And this is the 13th. Where is it? No, Friday the 12th, it was here. By the time Monday opened, it spiked, and then Tuesday. These are the dates right after the assassination attempt. Then it dropped a lot because something happened on Friday. They're looking at the volatility, and then it's going back up against right now. So this isn't about making money. It's understanding that this is going to be a hedge, that you basically have your money someplace. It's still your money just in case the poop hits the fan, which it's very likely it will. So let me go into, we were talking about the donation scam. I showed you the donors. I think Trump has to talk about this. I think he needs to get out there and let people know that what Kamala has been doing. All right, enough about the donor stuff. There's a 9-minute video I was going to get into, things I want to talk about. So it's pretty funny to me that there was a video, in the video I did earlier today, I did a video and I talked about how basically, how did it happen? We were talking about all the different things that could happen with Kamala, and then now on CNN they started talking about DEI, and they're like, if you say the word DEI, it's the same thing as saying the N-word. Somebody went on CNN today and said, if you call Kamala Harris the DEI vice president, it's like calling her the N-word. Well, after I did my video, I went and did something. I went and did some research. Do you know who said that Kamala was the DEI vice president? Joe Biden did. Check this out, right here.
To me, the values of diversity, equality, inclusion are literally, and that's not kidding, the core strengths of America. That's why I'm proud to have the most diverse administration in history. It taps into the full talents of our country. And starts at the top with the vice president.
It starts at the top with the vice president. I brought in the DEI administration. I didn't bring in people who were most qualified. I didn't bring in people who could do the job the best. I'm going to embarrass this country by bringing in the most diverse people I possibly can. You know, the transformer health person, and the other guy who was partly transformer who was stealing luggage in airports. And then, of course, we had all kinds of things which I can't say here, but you know. And so when you're talking about the DEI moniker being placed on Kamala Harris, you started it, Joe. You told everybody when you brought her in, I want to hire and bring in a black woman. When you put Ketanji Jackson on the Supreme Court, what did you say? I made a promise to put the first black woman on the Supreme Court. You created all this. You were the one who manifested DEI in government. You were the one who hired Kim Cheadle to bring in DEI into the Secret Service, who weren't even big enough to basically protect a 6'4" man. You did this. And now today, the media wants to say that if you talk about someone and you say they are a DEI hire, that you're basically insulting them, that it's racist. You're kidding, right? You're absolutely kidding. So let's go to the next video I want to show you. So once Kamala was anointed, and I do mean anointed, Chuck Schumer just embarrassed himself today. I got a couple of videos from Chuck Schumer, and they're just laughable at this point.
They did so yesterday of endorsing Vice President Kamala Harris for president. They have not done so yet, but we're going to dip in here and listen to questions.
So Chuck Schumer's, he's giddy. I can't believe this. I know last week I said, I'm behind Joe 100%, but today's a different day, and I'm excited that we're going to go with Kamala Harris. What changed? What changed between last week when you and Pelosi were like, Joe is the guy, to all of a sudden the DEI hire who's crazy is going to be the next president for you guys?
It's a happy day. What can I say?
How do people like this get into government? How do people who, it's a happy day?
Together, we will keep and hopefully grow the Senate majority. And under future Speaker Hakeem Jeffries, we will win back the House. Democrats are moving forward stronger and more united than ever before.
You mean than last week? Because ever before, you're basically saying you changed your entire attitude in a couple days. Because we saw what you guys were doing last week.
The last 36 hours, I have seen a surge of enthusiasm from every corner of our party, uniting behind Vice President Harris.
Why would that be? Why would it be, I know some of you saw my video yesterday, when AOC was saying that there wasn't uniformity. There wasn't any unity. There were so many people who were against Kamala Harris. But now it's just widespread. What would be the way how did that happen? How did you get all these people to change their mind, basically, like you said, in the last 36 hours, for them to say, yeah, Kamala Harris is that person? What kind of deals did they have to cut? What kind of strings did they have to pull?
An enthusiasm felt in every corner of the country, and it's contagious among Democrats. The volunteers, the small contributions, they're just pouring in.
I bet they are. I just showed you how. Smurfing. Billions are pouring through some of these people like Soros and that other guy from Switzerland. They know what they're doing.
In ways even beyond our expectations.
Of course they are. If you listen to what these people say and understand what is occurring, they're telling you what they're doing, even beyond our expectations. We didn't even know we could get away with this.
Now, we all know that Vice President Harris has a tremendous record to run on.
Yes, we are being punked. We are absolutely being punked. This man, a senator for who knows how long he's been there, the leader of the Senate for the Democrats, just said she has a great record to run on. What exactly would that record be? What exactly? Could you expound upon that? You're at a press conference. Nobody raised their hand and said, wait, what record would that be, Chucky? What exactly has she done? Because we don't know.
And now begins the next chapter in our quest to make sure Donald Trump does not become president. Today, with one voice, we speak about the dangers he presents to work.
I thought we were going to talk about dangers anymore. I thought, on July 14th, after the man had been shot in the head, we weren't going to go with that kind of language anymore. We were going to just tamp it down, remember? We weren't going to call somebody a danger to democracy anymore.
Families, to our country, and to our democracy.
We're not a democracy, we're a republic, and we're not welcoming families. These people are coming through the back door.
We see very clearly how nervous the Republicans are about our new nominee. Well, they ain't seen nothing yet.
As far as I know, I saw Donald Trump golfing today. I mean, he didn't look nervous. Did you guys see him nervous at all? Let me see if I have that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if I go to this real quick, that this is Donald Trump golfing. And there he is. Boom. There's Donald Trump looking nervous. Look at the date here. Hold on. Look at the date. July 23rd, 2024. That would be today at 12:43. This is 12:43. Donald Trump sinking a putt. So I don't know what Chucky is talking about. I don't think Chucky knows what Chucky is talking about. He's nervous. Wish you could be that nervous.
Vice President Harris secured a majority of delegates. Today, in Wisconsin.
Can you explain what that means? As of today, Vice President Harris has secured the delegates. As you know, the Democrats speak in vaguities. They just say stuff. What exactly does that mean? Do you know what that means? Okay, I'm going to give you the answer. I didn't mean to make this a pop quiz tonight. It means absolutely nothing. It is just a phrase that they've made up, that they're getting the media to push out. She has not secured diddly. Not jack diddly. Nothing. Some people may have told her, yeah, we're with you. Okay, I can count on you? Sure, you can count on me. We'll go ahead. We're behind you. Okay, thank you. Just want to make sure. Let me make the next call. Hey, you with me? Yeah, whatever you say, Kamala. We're in. Means absolutely nothing. Because until August 22nd, when they actually vote, the next month, you're going to find out who's with you and who's not with you. So what he just said there means absolutely nothing.
And across America, we begin our next chapter, and it will be our best yet. Vice President Harris will beat Donald Trump and become the next president of the United States of America. Applause. Hakeem.
Did you hear that at the end? Let me just so you catch what just happened. Just so you catch what happened from the Senator of the United States.
Harris will beat Donald Trump and become the next president of the United States of America. Applause.
Vice President Harris will beat Donald Trump and become the next president of America. Can you guys start clapping? That was supposed to be the clap point. None of you clapped. I never heard of anybody asking to be clapped for. Especially not a government official. That man went on stage at a press conference of people who were supposed to be somewhat objective and said, applause? Applause? And they all just looked back at him and like, I'm not applauding for that. How sad is the Democrat Party at this point? That they're begging for applause. They're begging for people to basically come out there and applaud what they've done to the American people. Applaud, please. Please applaud. Let's go to the next one.
So now that the process is played out.
Now, this is the next one. This is something else. Let him continue.
From the grassroots, bottom up, we are here today to throw our support behind Vice President Kamala Harris. I'm clapping. You don't have.
I'm clapping. You don't have to. Don't worry about it. They weren't. They're not worried about it. What is going on in American politics that the sitting majority leader of the United States Senate does two separate appeals for applause? Anyway, a little applause. I'm clapping. And he got crickets. And it's filmed. People saw him beg for applause. I could not believe this when I watched it. It was stunning.
Behind Vice President Kamala Harris. I'm clapping. You don't have to.
I'm clapping. You don't have to. We are a clown show. We are an absolute clown show of epic proportions at this point. And to me, I just don't get it. I just don't get it why we're letting this stuff happen. We're just acting like this is just normal stuff. Just expect it. There's nothing you can do about it at this point. And, you know, he went on and he tried to get people to applaud for this woman. So she decides she's going to go do a rally, right? She's going to do a rally in Wisconsin today. By the way, if you didn't see it, don't worry about it. I watched it so you don't have to. Let me give you the summary of what she said. What she said was, we're going to basically beat the bad orange guy. We're going to allow you to get rid of as many babies as you need to. And oh my God, what are we going to do about Project 2025, which doesn't matter because nobody's behind that anyway. So I'm going to lie some more. Oh, and by the way, we're going to take away your guns. Take away their guns, meaning us. That was her entire speech. She didn't say anything about the economy. She didn't say anything about gas. She didn't say anything about grocery prices. She didn't say anything about anything that people actually care about. And then the lunch lady here, this is how she opened her speech today.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon, Wisconsin. On the other hand, we are running a people-powered campaign.
Tell me they didn't tell these kids in the audience at this high school, clap, almost like at a game show. Clap now, because what did she just say there that made any sense? We're running a people-oriented campaign. Okay, as opposed to bots? What exactly does that mean?
just had some breaking news. We just had the best 24 hours.
They don't even know what they're clapping for. We just had the best 24 hours. Ho, 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 clap. Now, yeah, she didn't tell you the punchline. That's how you know it's fake. They're clapping before they heard the encore. They didn't even hear the song. We just had the best 24 hours. Oh, yeah, okay, let's go ahead and clap. What are you clapping for? She hasn't even told you the punchline yet.
Of grassroots fundraising in presidential campaign history.
The media ran with it. I showed you what they're doing. Trump just sued her. The people running her campaign are having her go out there and lie to the American public. They don't care. They're throwing this woman to the wolves. I can't wait till somebody ask her a question. So, have you seen the source of these donors? Have you looked into it? Do you understand what smurfing is? Do you understand you didn't get a single delegate in the primary in 2020, and now you want people to believe that you raised the most money ever in presidential history? Do we look stupid?
All right. And because we are a people-powered campaign, that is how you know we will be a people-first presidency.
They're clapping. What does that mean? What does that possibly mean? You know that we're going to be people first. What does that mean? Obviously, she's not going to explain it. I don't think she has a speechwriter at this point.
They intend to end the Affordable Care Act.
Who is? Who is going to end the Affordable Care Act? Haven't heard anybody say that.
And take us back then to a time when insurance companies had the power to deny people with pre-existing conditions. Remember what that was like?
The people in your audience don't remember that. They're kids. They're absolutely nuts that they're saying this stuff. And when you remember what that was like? No, I was on mom and dad's insurance, and mom and dad worked and had insurance, or, you know, we went to the clinic because mom and dad were on welfare. So no, I don't know what you mean. Either way, we were covered. That's what your audience thinks, Kamala. They have no idea what you're talking about. These people, the people who would sit through this drivel, are people who don't have the ability to understand what you are saying.
Children with asthma, women who survived breast cancer, grandparents with diabetes. America has tried these failed economic policies before, but we are not going back.
I don't know. I can't explain it. I hear some more what you guys have to say, because to me, that makes absolutely no sense. I think there is recorded cheering being used. Maybe. It's possible. Can we please get a Trump-Harris debate? You know, I don't think he needs to debate her, but for some reason, since you brought it up, let me find what happened today. Okay, so sometimes I try to anticipate what you guys may ask, and so I find out the information, and I have some information for you in that regard. Breaking in call with reporters. This was at 2:49 p.m. today, and no, I didn't know that person was going to put up that comment, but I just was going to get to this. Former President Trump tells me, this is Bill Malusian from Fox, he is willing to commit to more than one debate with Kamala Harris if she is the Democratic nominee. Oh yes, absolutely. I want some of that, Trump says. Trump says, yeah, bring that to me. If you bring that to me, I'm going to be ready for that. Because we know what this woman's going to do. She's not nowhere near as bad as Dementia Joe, but she's also not the kind of person who can think on her feet other than one-liners. I mean, today she said something like, I'm a prosecutor running against a criminal. That's what you got? That's what you got. She's going to get embarrassed in world politics. She has no idea what's going on anywhere in the world. She's basically blew off Netanyahu, so she's got no idea how to address what's going on in Israel, so Trump's going to be able to bring that up against her. She has no economic background whatsoever. None. This woman has never run a business. She doesn't have anything of any knowledge of economics. She's going to get killed there. So if she can't talk about geopolitical events, if she can't talk about the economy, you're going to reduce it very small into what she can talk about. And what she's going to talk about is people stuff, you know, being able to get rid of babies and get welfare and, you know, that's all she's got. She's talking to a very small subsection of the country. She can't talk about gold like I just talked to you. She can't talk about the stock market. She can't talk about dollar valuations. She can't talk about any of that. The housing. No, she's got nothing. And so what will happen is, you know, that the moderators will twist the questions so it makes Kamala look great. There'll be very limited questions on the stuff that Trump is strong on, and they'll make sure that the stuff that she wants to talk about is highlighted. So she'll get 19 questions on baby removal. She'll get 10 other. They'll avoid the border. They have to avoid the border. Remember, she was supposed to be the border czar, so they don't want to go there. So if you can't talk about the economy, if you can't talk about foreign policy, if you can't talk about anything financial, you can't talk about engaging in the wars over there, if you can't talk about any of that stuff, what in the hell are you going to ask her? That's one of the reasons I've continued to believe that she's being a lamb put out there to be slaughtered. She has no knowledge and no wherewithal other than what she can possibly memorize. And if they do, well, I hope Trump doesn't agree to it the same way, where it's you talk and your mic is cut, because she'll just filibuster. She's good at that. She can just get up there and just talk about, you know, we got to make sure that the babies and, you know, they come across, they're not separated from their parents. And, you know, Trump put them in cages, and Project 2025, it's racist. And oh, your time is up, ma'am. That's what indeed will happen. So anyway, Trump has decided he will indeed go ahead and debate her. That would be great. I agree. Yeah, it's awful. Our border with Russia is Alaska. You know that, right? I know that. I'm not sure if she knows that. How can she settle wars? Can you imagine her negotiating with Putin? Can you imagine her negotiating with Xi Jinping from China, who, by the way, is making a march towards Taiwan? How is she going to be able to talk to Netanyahu when you just blew him off? How are you going to talk to any of these world leaders, especially the ones who won't want to talk to you? You know, there are some who are going to look at her like side-eye. There are certain countries where she's not going to get that opportunity. Mike Osborne says, Kamala Harris said, the interesting thing about the stock market is there really no stock and there's no market. Yeah, that would be something she would say. Oh, yes, doesn't everybody love yellow school buses? Whew. Yeah, she was the border czar. See how that worked out. Inns and insurance and drug companies still do what they want to do. What'd you say here? Where is that? Is charge and raise that. Absolutely. Ooh, somebody said something nasty. I can't say it's about her being on her knees. The same way she rose to... I shouldn't put this, but this is funny. No, but I can't imagine her saying, what, on Putin. Whew, you guys are brutal. You guys are brutal. The Manchurian candidate. It seems at this point that everything the Democrats do is based upon bringing someone out that's Manchurian-like. If they can't control the person, lately it seems like they don't want him. Let's bring out Joe. We know we got him. He'll do whatever he wants as long as just give him his ice cream. And now bring out Cackles. She'll do whatever we say. Just go ahead and let her do it. She doesn't know anything. Literally, nothing. So it's going to be amazing. No debate before August 22nd. Make sure she is the candidate, which is what Trump said. I'll debate her more than once she's the candidate. Because why would I waste time debating her now when we don't even know what she's going to be? Trump will destroy her with facts at the next debate if the moderators bring out questions that they actually have to talk to. Trump will eat her lunch and take her milk home for later. The only thing, and this is true, this is the definition. The only thing the Dems got is baby removal. They are so high-strung about baby removal. That's all the votes they want. That's why the single women run to the Democrats, because I can't imagine my life as a woman. I'm not a woman, so I can't imagine. Yeah, but I can't imagine my life and my political ideology is based upon being able to have one of those. I mean, how close-minded would you have to be where that is the priority in your life? Oh my God, it's of utmost importance. I gotta have that. I gotta have transformers in schools. I gotta be able to have transformer changes. Like, she comes from California. One of my first questions would be, do you agree with what Gavin Newsom passed, where a parent has no right over their son or daughter becoming a daughter or a son? Do you agree? And I would just shut up and sit back. And Trump should ask her, come on, tell everybody that you're okay with this. Don't dance. Because Trump would be like, hell no. No, we're not having that. Very definitive. Kamala, can you tell us yes or no? Do you stand for any of that? And just shut up and listen to her basically backtrack and turn into a squid at that point, because there is no way, I bet you she wants the rest of the country to believe that whatsoever. No way. All right, so I've got a clip here I want to show you. This is a clip from a few years ago. There's no data that you could show me that says she feels otherwise today. So if she believed this before, she still believes this right now. This, if Trump shows this, when I saw this was probably the reason why I did this video tonight, where I titled it, Really? Is this really the person you're putting out? You want people to know this about her? Listen to this.
She officially has more Twitter followers than Nancy Pelosi. She was on 60 Minutes this weekend, proudly calling herself a radical. And she's promoting policies like saying that every single carbon emission in the country, every car, should be eliminated within the next 11 years. Everything from a 70 to 80% tax rate.
Okay, so Meghan McCain, this is the View before she got off of it. And she's talking to Kamala. She's talking about AOC. And she said, AOC's out there. She wants every single car not to have any emissions. Don't sell any gas cars. And she also says that we should have a 70 to 80% income tax. So Megan's reading her this. And she's like, Kamala, you stand behind that?
Do you agree that she could possibly, in this ideology of the socialist left, could splinter your party?
No. I think that she is challenging the status quo. I think that's fantastic. I think that, I used to teach before, especially before, in the last few years. And the thing that I always loved about teaching was when you teach, it requires you to defend the premise. Mm-hmm. And it requires you to re-examine the premise and question, is it still relevant? Does it have impact? Does it have meaning? And I think that she is introducing bold ideas that should be discussed.
Bold ideas. So Megan asked her point blank, are you okay with, is she wrong? Should she be talking about? No, she's fine. 70 to 80% tax? You're okay with that? Forget the car thing. You're okay with taking 70 to 80% of somebody's money? That wasn't too long ago. She was already vice president. And she said straight up, yeah, okay, AOC has some, out there things, but she's changing the status quo. My answer to that would have been, hell no. No, we can't do that. That would be impossible. We're never going to allow never allow the government to take 80% of somebody's money. That is straight up communism. You're jumping over Marxism. You're basically becoming a communist country at that point. And if that's okay, and I'm hoping Trump makes this clip into an ad, that this woman basically was okay with no cars and 80% of your money being taken. You have to know the opponent you're running against. When people have said she's further to the left of Joe Biden than anybody knows, yeah, she is completely radical. She wants to go far, far, far left. She doesn't want to stop where Joe stopped. She wants to take it to the next level. I want to take 70 to 80% of your money. You said it. You're on video. You're okay with it. Own it. Democrats, all you celebrities, understand what she just said. You don't believe her? Why don't you believe her? Oh, because she's, we need to beat Trump. But in beating Trump and she gets this power, are you okay giving up 70 to 80% of your money? Rob Reiner, George Clooney, Oprah. You guys want to answer this, please? Is it okay to give up 70% of your money and not be able to drive? And God forbid, your jets are gone. You just can't go flying around the country anymore because this is what she believes. Is she lying? Then tell us she's lying. But I would definitely ask her that in a debate or any other press conference. Hey, listen, so back when your early days of being a vice president, Meghan McCain asked you about 70 to 80% income tax rate, and you were okay with it. Is that still your position? Hopefully there's a reporter out there who can dig up some of the stuff I dug up, and can ask about that. Now, this next clip may infuriate you, okay? I want to make sure that I can give you the proper premise of this, because here's what was said. Somebody dug up this video. So Kamala Harris omits the right to life when quoting the Declaration of Independence and a pro-baby removal speech. The level of evil it takes to remove life as a basic right for all human beings is immeasurable. Just remember, removing that right will not apply to just unborn kids. You understand that? What the Declaration of Independence says? We are each endowed by our Creator with the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I don't know if you've ever seen this clip, but this might absolutely tick you off. Listen to what she says right here.
A promise we made in the Declaration of Independence, that we are each endowed with the right to liberty and the pursuit of happiness.
That wasn't by accident. She omitted very important parts of the Declaration of Independence. That wasn't by accident. Listen to it again. Her words. And if she didn't mean it, she should have fired her speechwriter. But those were critical words not to tell or not to say.
A promise we made in the Declaration of Independence, that we are each endowed with the right to liberty and the pursuit of happiness.
And that's what it really says. What it really says is we are each endowed by our Creator with the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. She completely took that out. Just destroyed that. What creator? There's no creator. I'm not going to say that. What about the right to life? No, you're not entitled to live. Does that freak you out? It should. This woman is running to be president. I wasn't kidding when I said there are video after video after video out there with her saying some of the most bat poop crazy stuff ever. I just don't think enough people have seen it. Jane Shields says, grrr. Yeah, she is a moron. She's worse than a moron because she means it. That was intentional. You can't pull out two parts of that by mistake. You had to purposely, with full intent, pull those words out. Yeah, Obama did some of the same things. Absolutely. So disgusting. You won't see this stuff on the news. It just will not be shown on the news. You're right. God will not be mocked. Straight up. She mocked him. She didn't think twice about doing so. Democrats praise the devil. They don't want any God. Absolutely. You're absolutely right. We are in a spiritual battle. It's no longer Democrat and Republican. That ship has sailed. This is definitely a good versus evil election. That's where we are at this point. I'm going to board. Oh, this is sick. So we took a dog in at the rescue I worked at. Turned out she was pregnant. My boss said we're going to have to take the puppy out. The liberal volunteers lost their minds, threatened to quit. Yeah, because they care more about dogs than they do people. Life, liberty, and you know the thing. You're absolutely right. Forgot he said that too. Don't touch the third rail. This is what they are. They care about. She cares absolutely nothing about life. Nothing. It's sad. It's very sad when you hear them. Wow. Wow, this is scary. Maybe they are preparing to adapt the Declaration of Independence. We know they want to get rid of the Constitution. So it's absolutely nuts. So let's see what I got next here for you, because the more I started digging into some of the stuff that she was saying and videos I could find, it was pretty obvious that we're dealing with someone who's in a pretty, how can I say this, bad way. And in addition to that, you get the not Republicans, the Democrats in Congress who cover for her. They don't have any problem doing whatever they can to BS the public. That's where our government is now. Listen to this. This is a pretty short one.
Harris's biggest accomplishment as vice president.
Well, look, I think she's done remarkable work across several important areas. Something that I think hasn't gotten much coverage is her passion for entrepreneurship, for wealth creation, for securing and stabilizing the middle class. She's traveled around the country to meet with small businesses and to talk with them about what it takes to get back to work, to grow a small business, to sustain the wealth and opportunity for a family.
Did you hear what Bret Baier said? It's funny because a lot of people miss these things. Okay, so he asked him, what's her biggest accomplishment? And Chris Coons, who's one of Joe's best friends, decides he's going to rattle off a bunch of things that Bret Baier goes, she did that? Because, no, she didn't. She didn't do that. Here, listen to that again.
Harris's biggest accomplishment as vice president.
Well, look, I think she's done remarkable work across several important areas. Something that I think hasn't gotten much coverage is her passion for entrepreneurship, for wealth creation, for securing and stabilizing the middle class. She's traveled around the country to meet with small businesses and to talk with them about what it takes.
Look at his face. Look at Bret Baier's face right there. He's just like, she did that? Where was I? Where was I when Kamala Harris did that? Where were you when Kamala Harris did that? I haven't seen that. Nobody's seen it. He's full of crap. These people are so accomplished at looking into the camera and just saying whatever they want, and they never expect that they are going to be called out. And so he just went out there, she's done all this for entrepreneurs, she's done this, she's done that. And Bret Baier goes, she has? When did she do that stuff? I haven't seen it. I don't know anything about that. That's what they do. They just lie straight to your face. So this next video is by the former English Prime Minister, Liz Truss. And she's talking about Kamala Harris.
You know, many people in this country say, Prime Minister, that we have a problem electing women, and that they extend that to say conservatives will never elect women. Yet you're proof that women can come to power in your country. Of course, Maggie Thatcher is proof of that. Do you think Americans have a problem with women in power?
No, I don't. I think there have been some brilliant American women in politics, but I don't think Kamala Harris is one of them. She was given the specific job of sorting out immigration on the southern border. It is now at crisis point. She has not delivered as vice president, and she's got the job now because of the crazy situation with President Biden retiring at the last minute, even though everybody in America knew that he was not up to the job. So she has got the job. She's got the nomination, or she's about to get the nomination, in what is a very, very bizarre scenario. What I hate is identity politics. We shouldn't care if somebody is an ethnic minority. We shouldn't care if they're a woman. We should be caring about, can they do the job? And she is not proven, as vice president, she can do the job. And I think...
Nope, she hasn't proven anything. This woman is 100% correct. What has she done? Everybody now on the left is now out there saying that she's got all these great accomplishments. And then when someone is asked, well, can you tell us what these accomplishments are? She likes entrepreneurship? Really? Yeah. It makes no sense. Where now, again, I talked earlier about how is she going to discuss global policy, foreign policy, when you got a woman here who was the Prime Minister of England, or UK basically, saying it ain't about hiring a woman, it's about hiring a woman who can get something done. It's very different. I don't care if you're a woman, I don't care if you're black, I don't care if you're Asian. I want to know that you're qualified to get something done. She's not qualified. She can't do anything.
I think we are going to see a situation similar to what we saw in the UK. I think there will be a landslide against the incumbent party because they have not delivered for the American people.
Now, why do we have to hear that from people in other countries? Why do we have to hear that from people with a perspective? They're looking in and going, whoa, what in the heck is wrong with America? What are you people doing over there? How is it that you're allowing this to happen? You know that Putin and Xi Jinping and other world leaders are looking in and going, what exactly is happening in America? By the grace of God, we haven't been attacked or something, because who knows where Joe is from time to time, when he's awake, when he's not awake. Kamala, who was vice president, or actually is vice president, but now she's basically trying to run for president, what her duties are at this point, nobody seems to know. What's wrong with our country? I mean, I looked at this today and I started looking at a lot of tweets. You know things are bad when you see this. Black Lives Matter people calls Democrats a party of hypocrites for installing Kamala Harris as the party nominee. Are we living in a clown world? I mean, serious. If Black Lives Matter says that the Democrats are the party of hypocrites because they basically are installing Kamala Harris, she's lost the room. Who is she campaigning for? A couple of you guys have said her only platform at this point seems to be young, single women who crave baby removal and those with alternative lifestyles. And they're going to basically craft the polls over the next couple of weeks to show that she's winning and she's doing so great. And the media is going to say all kinds of great things about her now. She's killing Trump and Trump's scared and all this stuff. And I'm like, well, all of her core constituency people are saying, no, this woman ain't it, man. She's not it. You can't keep up the charade constantly, and that's what they're doing. Mark Levin was funny. Hey, media, she hasn't been nominated yet in the Soviet-style convention, yet you are asking who she will choose as her vice president and running mate. Shouldn't you at least pretend you give a crap about democracy? Everybody keeps talking about who is going to be her vice president. She's not the nominee yet. You understand, if you remember how it works, how it's supposed to work. Trump ran to be the nominee. Nikki Haley ran to be the nominee. A bunch of other people. Ron DeSantis ran to be the nominee. Trump gets close to nomination. Everybody else pulls out. And at that point, he picks his vice president. How is Kamala talking about a vice president? She's not even a nominee. This thing is completely gotten away from reality at this point, and people aren't taking a second to step back and go, you know, nothing's happened, right? You understand that Joe dropped out, but do you understand, as of today, Joe could step right back in? I don't think enough people really grasp that. He has all the delegates, not her. He won every single primary, not Kamala. Joe Biden did. If he wanted to step in and dump her as the vice president, he very well could. Now, that's not going to happen because I guess he's signing over all the money. But as of today, Joe Biden has the delegates to be the Democrat nominee, not Kamala. I don't think enough people are grasping that. She is auditioning. Nothing more, nothing less. She's a vice president who's auditioning to be the nominee. She doesn't have a single delegate, one or any of them have voted for her. None. Not one whatsoever. She's hoping to get the delegates to basically get behind her on August 22nd, as it sits right now. But as it also sits right now, she's got nothing. So she's in a very precarious situation. Very, very precarious situation. Saw this from Trump. Does lying Kamala Harris think Joe Biden is fit to run the USA for the next 6 months? She must answer the question. Now it appears Joe is delegating his presidential authority to unelected Washington bureaucrats. He doesn't even trust his vice president, who's running the country. So some of you may be wondering, what is Trump talking about? So yesterday at the hearing with Kim Cheadle, she talked about, and it blew up when she started mentioning continuity of government. I want you guys to go look that up. That's your homework tonight. Go look up continuity of government. Biden has now delegated the Speaker of the House and the Treasurer, the Secretary of the Treasury, certain presidential duties. He's delegated. He's like, hey, you guys handle that stuff, okay? I'm no longer going to deal with this. You do this and you do that. You got my authority. I'm going to chill here and get some ice cream sandwiches. And Trump's like, how is that possible? Who's making these decisions for Joe? Does Joe know he did that? Has anyone told Joe that he abdicated power to different agencies? You look up continuity of government, things are going to go off in your head and you're going to like, wait a minute, who is in control right now? And why did Kim Cheadle even mention continuity of government? That may have gotten her to the point where she had to resign today. All the other stuff was she just deflecting like she was Wonder Woman. But when she got up there today or yesterday and talked about continuity of government, let me see if I can find continuity. I hate to be dropping all this stuff on you because it seems like nobody in the news is even talking about this stuff. All right. There's a lot on Twitter about this. You know, you have to hear this. Please pay close attention to Secretary, Secret Service Director Cheadle's response here. If he had been sitting president, would he have had the same security he had on July 13th or would it have been beefed up? Cheadle's response is there's a difference between the sitting president and the continuity of government and the responsibility we have. What? What do you mean? If, when, and you're comparing this to continuity of government. Didn't make sense to a lot of people. And there was just post after post after post where people were talking about the continuity of government. So this came out and we find out that, here we go. Let me pull this up. Department of Defense continuity policy. Office of the Secretary of Defense cleared for public release. The issuance reissues the 2018 directive as DOD in accordance with the authority, blah, 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 blah. But basically, it goes all the way back. Anyone uprising will be swiftly taken care of. It's called continuity of government. There's just so much out there right now going, who's running the country? How can we possibly be at this point where nobody knows what the heck is going on? I'm serious. If you guys start looking at this and start looking at who is actually running things, this thread. Let me just show you. I'll just go through it. It's just constant. Okay, here's this one. This is the one everyone freaked out about. Okay, memorandum on the delegation of certain functions and authorities under the Rebuilding Economic Prosperity and Opportunity for Ukrainian Act. And in this act, it basically says delegation of certain functions and authorities under the rebuilding, blah, 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 by the authority invested in me as president, by the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America. I here order as follows. I hereby delegate to the Secretary of Treasury, the functions and authorities vested in the president. So the Secretary of the Treasury has now been conferred president. Let me see if let me get back down further here. Why is it not going? Okay, this is you can say I hereby delegate to, yeah. So he conferred presidential power to the Secretary of the Treasury. In addition, and you can't see it all the way, it's further down, I hereby delegate to the Secretary of State, in consultation with the Secretary of the Treasury, the function and authorities vested in the President by sections 104, blah, blah, blah. So Biden is out here putting stuff up. It says the delegations in this memorandum shall apply. Oh God, hold on, it's too big. Let me shrink it so you guys can see this. Okay, I can't shrink it. But anyway, if you look it up, you're going to see that Biden delegated presidential powers under the Continuity of Government Act to the Secretary of State and the Secretary of the Treasury. Why? Why would that have happened? Why would you even think about doing something like that? If Biden isn't in a position where he should be running the government, why are we allowing him to delegate presidential authority to subordinates? Nobody wants to answer those questions at all. And so I want to talk to you a second about the polling. So this polling came out today. And this polling came out at 2:27, actually yesterday, and it showed Trump up by 9 points. This is Forbes and Harris. Harris is basically the research agency, not Kamala Harris. Trump up 50-41, and he leans 53-47. Independents 56-44. He's crushing her, right? So he's ahead. And this one is for voters 18-34. Trump 58-39 over Harris. When you extend that to the 5 candidates, it goes to 47-29 for Harris, 9% Kennedy, Stein, Oliver, and Cornel West. All these polls started coming out. Then this one here, FAU, which is right here in my backyard, FAU and Main Street USA poll. This is a left-leaning poll. This is FAU, for some reason, is a left-leaning poll. And let me make this a little bit bigger. Okay, so you guys can see it. And it showed, as of, this is today at 11 a.m., you can see it here, 49-44, Trump up by 5. So we've got these historical polls right now that show Trump, with them switching, really hasn't changed anything. He's still leading, just as though, he was going up against Biden. And then this one here, it just breaks it out even further. This is the Main Street FAU, just showing it 49-44. And this is a left-leaning poll. It says even with RFK Jr. in the mix, Trump is garnering almost a 50% support in the general election. This isn't swing states. This is just the general election, which means to me it's even worse for Kamala. Because when you see the breakdown of the actual swing states, the 6 or 7 states that actually, basically elect the president, it's even worse. So with all that being said, what you're going to see, I'm going to predict right now, you're going to see a shift in the polls, based upon media manipulation, you're going to see a shift in the polls over the next couple days, next week, week and a half, where all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Kamala Harris will be leading Trump in the polls. And they're going to keep it that way until the convention. They have to. Mark my words. Write it down. Call me crazy when it happens and you're like, damn it, he didn't nail it. I'm telling you. Every poll that you can find right now just about shows that Trump is ahead of Kamala Harris. But they need these polls to shift. They have to have these polls to shift in order for her to secure the nomination. Because if the polls don't shift or get worse, there is no way they're going to nominate her on August 22nd. So the Joy Reids of the world, the Joe Scarboroughs of the world, the Jake Tappers and the people at CNN are going to get their marching orders and they're going to be told, start pushing these polls with Kamala ahead. Because come August 22nd, if those polls look like this, if you see a poll anywhere where she's down by 18 or 19, by Quinnipiac, which is a major polling organization, down by 19, she can pack her shit. I'm telling you right now. So they have to manufacture the polls. They have to keep it close for two reasons. One, they have to be able to keep her as the nominee or all hell's going to break loose at the convention. And number two, if they can show the polls as being close, they can justify what they end up doing at the ballot box with whatever they do. So you can count, like I said, mark it down, come back to me in a couple weeks. No, Barry, everything's fine. Trump's way ahead. Nope, ain't gonna happen. They will make these polls get tight. They will put her in the lead. They will then make that part of the narrative that she's beating Trump, that she's going to win the election, that Trump is faltering. It's going to happen. Mark it down. The only way it doesn't happen is if for some reason they see that she's not playing ball and they need to get rid of her too. Because they're not done. If she's not doing what needs to be done, if she gets out there and stumbles and says some stupid stuff or something comes out or anything and it doesn't look like she can win, August 22nd, they're putting somebody in. Maybe Michelle Obama. You got a month audition to go. You really aren't the candidate. You are nothing at this point, Kamala Harris. You're hoping to be that person. And you've got everything behind you. You got the billionaires throwing money at you. You got ActBlue doing fake donations. You got the media basically coronating you in public. You got Joy Reid. You got Rachel Matt. You got everything right now. If you can't separate yourself from Trump in the next couple of weeks with every bit of the Democrat machine behind you, you're toast. And then the Democrat Party is toast. They need her to be up by 4 or 5 points to justify everything. That's why it's going to happen unless she just can't do anything. That's also probably why they want to keep Trump in a gym. No big rallies, bro. No, we can't show you with 50 and 60,000 people in a stadium because we have to keep everything appearing to be close. That's what, in my estimation, is going to happen. That's what I think. That's what I feel. It's also asking for a donation. What, you getting ads from Kamala? Probably. They're trying to make the election close so they can do what they do. Yep, absolutely. Thank you, Styles, for the big thumbs up. Absolutely. No convention. That'd be another thing they may try. They may try to do it by Zoom so they don't have to have a convention because there's going to be riots outside. We know that's what's going to happen. We know that the anti-Israel people will be all over, their thing. It's crazy. Hillary might be first up. Imagine that. Imagine her stepping back in the ring at this point. That would be absolutely sick. Look at 2016. Every poll had Hillary beating Trump, and he squashed her at the ballot box. Yeah, the polls were manufactured. That's exactly what I'm saying. They need to, in order to keep the money coming in order to keep the natives from getting restless, they need to show her as being competitive or leading. They can't show her being beat by 12 and 14 points, even though more than likely that's what's going to happen. So all this money, this gazillion dollars that's floating around out there, where do you think it's going? So I always let people know this. People don't realize this much at all. And if you think about it, why would MSNBC and CNN and certain networks be so supportive of whoever the Democrat Party nominee is? Yeah, I'm sure there's some ideologues. We know Joy Reid is nuts. But what's the real reason? Because they can see, she got this cash box with $100 and $200 million in it. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to stroke CNN a check for a whole bunch of money. And those of you who own your own business or been involved in business, you're not going to cut off that supply. Because you know if they're giving you $20 or $30 million worth of commercial advertising, wow, that's some good money. I think I'll keep talking good about Kamala Harris. Why? Because they're about to hand me another check in another month for another 20 or 30 million. What would you think would happen if all of a sudden CNN started becoming a Trump-centric channel? Nope, they wouldn't buy ads. Why would I give CNN money if they weren't pumping me up? And I don't just mean the commercials. The commercials are easy. I'm talking about laundering the entire network. I'm talking about every show 24/7 doing nothing but basically blabbering about Kamala Harris being fantastic, because that's what you're going to see. You're going to see MSNBC, you're going to see CNN. They're going to just over the top. Don't be surprised with what you see over the next couple of weeks. It is going to, Kamala had wine and cheese for brunch and it was amazing. Kamala said this and it was amazing. Everything will just be over the top. She's the best thing ever. Because that money has to flow into these networks. They know how much you got. That's like going to a casino and telling the dealer, yeah, I got $100 left. What can I put the bet down on? Because they know, and I'm sure in their programming meetings, in their sales meetings, is like, hey, the Harris campaign just got flushed to another $200 million. We need to make sure we get a good chunk of that. So talk it up. Keep going. Make her very happy. Make her campaign people very happy. Make sure the Democrat machine is happy. Keep it coming. It's all about the ducats until it's not. Why do you think the other donors to Joe were like, hey man, we're done giving you money. We're done giving you money to spend on these networks. Why? Because the data shows everything, every dime we've spent, it's not working. Trump is crushing you. So we're not going to pour good money after bad. So in this instance, now the Democrat Party has to know, they have to understand that we have to keep up the illusion that Kamala Harris is competitive or leading Donald Trump. That way the money keeps flowing. Comes in one door, goes out the back door, and it just keeps going. And Kamala, I had the biggest fundraising day in presidential history. Imagine that. Imagine getting on a stage and telling the world, the audience, that you just raised more money than any president in the United States history, and you don't have one delegate vote. Why would you have all this money? It's very easy to just look at it and like, wait a second, we've had some great presidents. And you have the most money ever? And you haven't done diddly? And you don't have one delegate vote? You didn't go through the primaries? And you have the most money ever? Just think. Just think. Watch what happens. It's absolutely insane that this woman has pulled this kind of cash from people and she's done nothing. Like Chris Coons tried to lie to Brett Baer. What has she done? Nothing. You been to the border? Well, I haven't been to Europe either, but you don't ask me about that. Well, what have you done? I'm going to bring you on a news network. We're going to do an interview, and we're going to give you an hour to tell us your accomplishments. Go for it. What have you done? Well, I voted for more baby removals. I hang out in Annapolis in the vice president mansion. I play on Air Force 2. I have dinners. Have you put together any laws? Have you done anything? Nothing. Challenge me. Tell me what Kamala Harris has done in her life. Never mind as vice president, as senator. What bills did she pass? What did she do? That one guy I showed you in my video earlier said she's got more experience and done more, a million times more than Trump and J.D. Vance. Okay, well, name it. If you're making such a grandiose statement that she's the best ever, can anybody tell us what she's done? I'll wait. I'll be corrected. I'm like, well, yeah, you did that. Yeah. Wow, you actually did that. We know you rode a school bus because you were the little girl that Joe messed up with, and you made big time zinger because you got Joe basically calling him a racist. You know, the guy that you supposedly love right now. Nobody talks about that anymore. You guys all remember that when she called him a racist to his face when she was running against him. They'll tell you what Trump and Cruz have said to each other. They'll tell you what Rubio and Trump said to each other. They won't talk about what she said to Joe Biden, the guy she loves at this point. So that's just it. Drunk every day by noon. Problem, voting machines are hooked up online. We barely even saw her. Yeah, that's the biggest thing. She was kept in the background for a reason, because she was a DEI hire and there was nothing she could do. They couldn't give her anything to do. Hey, you're the border czar, but you never went to the border. Well, I didn't be to Europe either. What have you done? So she's going to have to figure out this entire resume in the next 3 to 4 weeks. She's going to have to get people to do more than listen to Rachel Maddow and Joy Reid. She's going to have to do more than just be a somewhat black face. She's going to have to do more than just being a woman. It's not going to carry her. So it's the money that they're hoping will carry her. And watch what happens. Where did the money come from? The money came from... I think I did. I shut it down. I didn't keep it here. The money came from a whole bunch of different sources, and a lot of it came from her basically appropriating the money that Joe Biden and donors had given the Joe Biden campaign, which Trump has sued her tonight because you just can't do that. She introduced the Venn diagram to the world. Yeah, that's exactly what she did. She put people in jail for smoking weed. And did so herself. Yeah, absolutely. Who owns YouTube anyway? YouTube is owned by Google, or Alphabet as they're called right now. Think of it. CrowdStrike does U.S. election security. Oh, it's an incestuous bunch for sure. Kamala is not black. Obama is half black and half white. I know, but that it's good enough for them. That rally was supposed to be at the airport. The rally was supposed to be at the, but they had something else going and changed it to the fairgrounds. You're talking about the butler. Yep. She's not even blackface. She wrongly put people in prison. She made enough word salad to feed all those starving children. Okay, but mark my words. What you're going to see is the polls. Don't get discouraged. Understand it's expected. When you see it, you're like, how is Kamala Harris beating Trump? It's going to happen. She is going to most likely show that she is pulled ahead in the polls. I guarantee you. I guarantee you that's what's going to happen. This video tonight, this show I've done tonight, is try to let you know, here's what's coming, here's what they're doing, here's where they laundered the money, here's how they're going to basically try to prop her up. And I don't think it's going to work. Wait until they find out that her only core group of constituencies that really want to see Kamala come out are single young women whose only thing in life they care about is protesting and removing babies as if somehow they were going to get pregnant anyway. That's it. That's it. Oh yeah, and please don't forget to hit the like button on your way out.
Come on, show some love and click that like button
already. She absolutely is. All right, guys, I'm probably going to take tomorrow night off because Biden is speaking at 8. I don't want to run into that, so I can basically tape that and then use that for the next day's show. So we can go over what he said. And then, of course, I'm sure Trump will have a lot to say about Biden's speech because there's so much to find out. Why exactly is he not running? No one has given, you understand, nobody has given a reason yet. There has been no reason given why Biden jumped out of the race. Because if he gives the reason and it's health related, then he can't be president. So what is he going to say? I just don't feel like doing it anymore. I've decided I'm going to spend time with Jill and we're not just going to, travel the world in Air Force One. I'm just going to just relax. Doesn't make any sense. Anyway, thank you all for watching tonight. I hope you got some information